I want to talk about the many ways I tried in the past to lose weight and why that wasn't successful, and what I do now to just stay slim and not really worry about my weight anymore. In the past, my weight used to fluctuate a lot. I was constantly worried about what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat. I was thinking about calories. I was in constant fear of food and gaining weight, and that's what I actually experienced. I could really manage my weight for a little while, and then something would happen, life would happen, some stressful events, and I would just go back to my regular old ways of eating. I struggled with binge eating as well, so that didn't help. I think that was actually the main reason why I would gain weight and lose weight, besides the fact that I tried all of the extreme ways and diets to control my weight. One of the most common ways I tried to lose weight in the past was OMAD, which is one meal a day. It's hard in the beginning, but then after a couple of days you get more used to it, your body adapts, and then you don't think about food all the time. And this is what I've heard my clients say as well, and some people that I talk with. They say the food noise gets a lot quieter. They don't really get food cravings as much. That can be true, but the problem with it is that you can't really sustain it. You can't be consistent with it. You will just always think about your next meal, and when you're gonna have that one meal a day, you will try to get in as much as you can. You might justify it as, I have just this eating window and it's nothing bad if I eat a couple more extra bites. So you have that meal, you feel so full and disgusted or sick, but then you say, it's fine, I'm not gonna eat for the next 23 hours, so it's all right, it's gonna balance out. As I said, the problem with this method is that it's not sustainable, and it causes a lot of digestive distress. It doesn't feel nice. You don't feel really comfortable in your body, and mentally you just not really at ease. There's still in the back of your mind the thoughts of, okay, I shouldn't eat, I should wait a little longer. It's an effective way to lose weight short term, but I don't really recommend it because it's gonna lead to binge eating, and this is how I developed my eating disorder. Another way I tried to lose weight in the past was fasting or intermittent fasting. I used an app before to just log and keep track of my meal times and my eating window. And I tried fasting for the first time when I was about 15. I fasted for 2 days, and that was an interesting experience. I didn't do it to lose weight specifically back then, but later on I did use fasting to lose weight. Even though I was justifying it as, I'm doing it for my mental clarity, so I feel sharp, I'm more productive, I have more energy, it's healthier, it activates autophagy. So it does have all of these benefits, but at the end of the day, I was doing it just to lose weight. And again, this method proved effective short term. It's nice because, yes, you do lose weight quickly, but the side effects are, I would say, more negative than positive, because it's an aggressive way to lose weight. And when you do it with the whole intention of losing weight, it gets a little bit unhealthy. Another way I tried to lose weight in the past is mindful eating. This seems like a very sensible and very healthy way of approaching weight loss, but again, it's not really realistic. I don't think I have anything bad to say about it. It's just, it wasn't really working for me. And then, of course, I changed my diet. I ate clean and healthy. I had a plant-based diet for over maybe 6 years, and that wasn't really hard for me because I grew up eating home cooked meals. I ate fast food. For the first time, I ate McDonald's when I was 19. I wasn't really emotionally attached to fast food, and eating healthy was pretty natural for me. I was into healthy eating when I was around, again, 15. That's when I experimented with fasting as well. So that was easy for me. But what I realized is that weight loss, it's not really about what you eat, but how you eat and how you feel. Another method I tried is being in a caloric deficit. So I was thinking calories in, calories out. And this makes sense. If you burn more calories than you eat, you will obviously lose weight. The problem with this one is that you're very calorie focused. You focus on the numbers, but not the food itself. And it messes with your head. It just perpetuates more worries and fears, and it's not a pleasant way to live. You can't really enjoy food, and you're just very preoccupied with your weight, and that's why it didn't really work long term. And now we're moving into more spiritual ways. I try to lose weight, and the first one is therapy. As I said before, I struggled with binge eating, and I tried therapy just to see if that's gonna help me get out of it, and it didn't really help because, again, we focused on stuff that didn't really make a change. Another thing I tried was shadow work and releasing past trauma in the body. And it's interesting, it did resonate with me, but the realizations and aha moments I had didn't really make a difference. I still kept doing the same things. I still struggled with compulsive eating. I couldn't really control myself around food, even though I was revisiting some unpleasant memories in the past and I was trying to work through it. But again, I learned that yes, it's good to learn about yourself and some of the past things that happened that actually caused you to develop some unproductive behaviors. I learned about how to express emotions, or I learned about unmet needs, how I was holding on to weight because that was unreleased or untapped creative energy or personal power. And that sounds really profound and interesting, but again, it didn't really make me take action. It was a very short-lived good feeling, I kind of got an understanding as to why I was not doing something, or I was actually struggling with food and my weight. It was, again, a very temporary change that didn't really last. Another thing I tried was journaling, and it can work, but I think it depends on how you do it. I also struggle to be consistent with it. Maybe that's why it didn't really make a big difference for me. My weight kept going up and down. I was losing weight and then gaining it back. And despite the fact of having all of this understanding about my emotions and why I was doing this, it didn't really help. Another thing I tried was colon cleanse. About 4 years ago, I was passionate about the gut. I read on the gut and brain connection and the microbiome, and the importance of those microorganisms and the bugs that give the brain impulses to reach for certain foods. And it was interesting, and that's why I thought, let me try to do a gut cleanse. And I kept up with it for a few weeks, just to see if it's gonna make a difference. And again, it really didn't, because mentally I wasn't in the right place. I was trying, now looking back, I was trying to find physical fixes to emotional and mental issues. I struggled with food, I was still binge eating, and this is psychological. You can do all of this stuff and it might have some benefits, but in the long term, you'll find yourself reaching for food when you don't need it. And that was the case for me. I also tried drinking a lot of green tea, coffee, appetite suppressant, supplements, over exercising, distracting myself, not keeping food in the house, being outside all the time. You know, even though I got at my ideal weight a couple of times, I couldn't really sustain it. It was really hard to stay slim because my mind was so busy with food thoughts, and I was constantly preoccupied about what I'm gonna eat next, what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat, what's gonna happen if I don't eat this or I eat at this time. And it's just a lot of stress on the body, on your mind. You can't really focus on anything apart from your weight and food, and it's not a pleasant way to live. Now, when I don't struggle with my weight anymore, I don't struggle with food, and I've sustained my weight for maybe more than 2 years. I don't experience any strong cravings anymore. I don't binge. I don't have any fear of foods. I eat everything, and it's such a relief and such a strong sense of freedom when you know that you can just go travel and eat anything that you want, and you don't have to worry about calories, you don't have to worry about gluten or dairy free, or and it's just all that stress goes away. Then food honestly just becomes an enjoyable part of your life, but it's not the highlight of your life. I love food, but I don't really think about it apart from the times when I'm hungry. Looking back, I can see that all those methods that I tried to lose weight in the past, they didn't work because it went against the body's natural rhythm. The body is in charge to tell you when to eat and when to stop, and your job is just to act out on that impulse, and that's it. I was trying to control something that was never meant to be controlled, and that's why I had such a hard time in the past. When you learn about hunger and fullness and you're acting according to those natural signals, then eating becomes effortless, and staying at your natural weight is easy. You don't have to think about it. Getting to a place where you know when you're hungry and you know when you've had enough needs some practice, because after doing all of these extreme things for a prolonged time, you mess up your hormones and you put your body through a lot of stress. And that's why you can't really recognize those signals. But you just have to give it some time. You'll reconnect with those feelings inside of you, and then the intuition or that sensitivity just strengthens over time, and you'll be able to tell when you're hungry, like truly physically hungry. The purpose of this video is to tell you that you don't need to do all these crazy ways to lose weight, because it's not really gonna work long term. And I don't know why I kept doing it, because it clearly didn't work, but I just lost hope I didn't know what to do. I was so confused. I was trying my best to just stay at a natural weight and to just be able to eat normally. But it was hard. And if you're in this place right now, I want you to tell that you shouldn't really control what you eat. I know it's scary to let go of that or to believe the idea that you shouldn't control, because immediately you think that, oh, if I let go, then I'll eat everything inside. But the opposite thing happens actually. With a little bit of guidance and some information, you will be able to get there. And then life becomes easy because food is not gonna be the central of your life.